Hey there, YTPC, New Jersey Piper Ben here. Coming to you from my front porch for the first time in a long time. And I'm worried I may have made a mistake. It's been very cloudy all day, and I know there's a system moving in, but I didn't see anything on the radar, but I felt something moist hit me, and I'm pretty sure it fell from the sky, so I'm really hoping it doesn't start raining here in a second. If it does, I'll pack up and move into the garage, but for now I'm going to stick it out because it seems pretty calm. Tonight I'm having some Dunson nightcap, my Savinelli Gaius 141 king size. And still dealing with a bit of a head cold. So it's, it moved from my chest into my head. I created more snot than I thought it was humanly possible to create over the last week and a half, 2 weeks. I'm blowing my nose a lot. Now my right ear is plugged up, so I'm having trouble hearing. I'm having trouble smelling, which I kind of popped in with the video earlier this week. Basically, I wasted a bowl of HH Latakia Flake. That made me very sad. But my smell is starting to come back slowly. I'm starting to smell things again, so I'm having a pipe. So I really miss having a pipe. And I'm going for some strong stuff with nightcap so that maybe it'll overpower my lack of senses at the moment. And it's good so far. Just lit up, but it's good. Yeah, still feeling kind of nostalgic. Wanted to, sorry, talk about another movie I really loved just growing up. I talked about The Return of the Living Dead last, and kind of in a similar vein, but not zombies this time. But oh wow, so there is a fox trotting down the sidewalk. I'd try to get a shot of him, but it's definitely too dark where he is now. That's really freaky. So, to interject, I was driving home and I was on a fairly dark road, and a fox actually darted out in front of my car. I guess he followed me home. I don't know what the hell's going on, but I've never seen a fox in my neighborhood. I've seen, lots and lots of deer. There were deer in my backyard today. They're always passing through. I've been out here before at night and literally had 5 deer just walk from my side yard right beside me and then just proceed down the sidewalk like everything's normal. But yeah, never seen a fox. So that was quite interesting. I don't know. I don't know if this weather's making like the wildlife freak out or something. Because it's like, I know everywhere it's like just super unseasonably warm right now. I'm wearing short sleeves, when 2 days ago it was like 30. So maybe the animals are all confused and they're like, what the hell's going on? They're coming out of hibernation and stuff, but I don't know. Anywho, I wanted to talk about a movie called Maximum Overdrive. I believe it's from 86, 86, 85, 86, somewhere in that neighborhood. Not 100% sure. Based on actually something Stephen King wrote. I'm pretty sure it wasn't a novel, but maybe a short story or something like that. I have no idea who directed it. I didn't really do much research. I keep a list of movies to talk about, and I saw that one. I'm like, yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be fun to talk about. But it stars Emilio Estevez is like the main sort of headlining star in the movie. File under cheesy 80s horror movies, but the basic premise is, I believe there's a comet that's passing close to the Earth, and that's causing things to go haywire. But the main thing is that mechanical sort of devices, electromechanical things work on their own. So we're talking like cars, lawnmowers, electric knives at some point in the movie, I remember. But it centers around a group of people that are pretty much stranded at a truck stop in North Carolina. Because all the trucks, all the 18-wheelers have, they're operating on their own, and apparently they have some sort of agenda, but they're kind of holding the people of this truck stop hostage, so to speak. They've encircled the place, and they can't go anywhere. And even if you tried to drive a car, the car would take over and kill you or whatever. But it's utterly ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous. But there's some stuff about it that just makes it so lovable, and I think that it's one of those sort of unintentionally bad movies. The writing is pretty horrific in some parts, but it makes it funny. There's some pretty memorable gore moments and things like that. But yeah, it's just an utterly ridiculous premise. Another thing that's kind of cool about it is AC/DC actually did the soundtrack for the movie. Which, besides how funny it is, that's probably one of the best things about it is it's got a pretty good soundtrack, because it fits really well with the movie. And honestly, consider AC/DC, they actually do some sort of compositions to sort of move the plot forward, and when there's not like a main song playing, they're still like using music to advance the plot and to tell you what you should be feeling, and indicate kind of what's going on. But yeah, it's a pretty neat soundtrack. But yeah, just some memorable things from the movie. I know early on, before everything kind of erupts, they're at a like a little league baseball game. And all of a sudden, a steamroller just comes busting through the outfield fence and just starts running over kids. And I know there's a part in the movie at some point where a kid's trying to get away on his bike, and he wrecks his bike, and the steamroller comes and runs him over. And I believe I don't know if this is like a urban legend or whatever, but I believe the unedited version shows a bit too much of the kid's head as the steamroller goes over it. And they had to cut that part out. But yeah, but I imagine that was a pretty grisly shot. Sorry about that. Neighbors across the street came out, and I was just saying hello. We get her to check on the cats while we're away, and she was asking me if she said she still had our key, and I just told her to hang on to it. No big deal. But yeah, so the poor kid that gets his brain smashed out by the steamroller, it's pretty grisly, and kind of sets the tone early on. Like, this movie's not messing around. Not long after that, like I don't know why he's still hanging around. Like, maybe it's before the steamroller scene, or I can't remember if it's before or after, but a drink machine. The coach is like trying to get a drink out of the machine, and it's like it takes his money, so he starts beating on it, and he's like looking into the slot where the drinks come out, and he's like, and a can of soda just whips out and like hits him right in the head, just like it came out of a fast pitch machine or something. And it's pelting him with cans of soda, and He's got like giant welts on his head and stuff, and so that was kind of crazy. Never seen that before in a horror movie. Guy getting killed by a drink machine. Oh yeah, but again, like the main thing is the truck stop and the interesting cast of characters that are there, and eventually Emilio Estevez, I believe he works there, and but some other people find their way there, and they're trying to figure out what the hell's going on, and you know, and just trying to figure out a way out, and I think they eventually figure out a way to go through the sewer system so the truck doesn't see them, and but yeah, it's like there's this big 18 wheeler there that's like sort of like the main sort of I guess like the mascot of the movie, but it's the front of it's like a big like gremlin Joker face type thing. It's a big green goblin type thing. Yeah, goblin, that's the word I was looking for. And I think it's like a truck for like a toy company or something, but yeah, it's like the main character, and it's just running people over, and it's sort of like the lead 18 wheeler, like the boss of the 18 wheelers that are operating themselves for some stupid reason. But yeah, again, just pure sort of 80s cheese, hilarious script, decent amount of gore. It's not too over the top from a gore standpoint. I would say, it's honestly pretty tame by today's standards, by today's like sort of torture porn sort of movies that have been out recently, and movies like that. It's definitely much more tame than something like that. It's I guess from a vibe standpoint, if you consider like the acting and the style of the movie, if anything, it's got kind of a I don't want to call it a slasher vibe, but you could see these same characters in a slasher movie, like the bumbling idiots, and the like, sort of lead hero guy being Emilio Estevez, and the hysterical woman that starts screaming because she's lost her mind because she can't figure out what the hell's going on, and but it's kind of got that same vibe. It's definitely not a slasher movie, but it's in that that same sort of generic feel, I guess, is what you would say. But yeah, I don't know how I don't know if it's, I don't know, maybe it's probably like a cult classic nowadays. You don't really hear about it too much, but yeah, look for it. I'm pretty sure it's got to be available on Blu-ray at this point. I'm pretty sure it's popular enough to get on a Blu-ray release. I actually need to look that up, but yeah. So Maximum Overdrive, just pure cheese, lots of fun. Again, remember it from sort of probably my middle school years. I think we watched it at some point at my cousin's house, and it just like captivated my 13-year-old brain. I was like, this is amazing. This is so funny and just awesome. But when you see stuff like that when you're that young, you feel like you're getting away with something, so it kind of adds to the appeal, I guess, as you get older. But yeah, I want to watch it again, just sitting here talking about it. I'm kind of like feeling nostalgic for it. But yeah, check it out. I'm gonna finish my pipe. Hope you guys have a fantastic evening. Hope this stupid warm weather goes the hell away pretty soon. This is not right. It shouldn't be like this in January nowhere. But yeah, take care, guys.